presents 5 at 10.
Hello again and welcome to the 5 at 10. It's 5 minutes of music at 10 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today we've got another edition of How Does That Work for you? That's where we tell you about how some aspect of music works and you get to learn a little bit about maybe how music is written or how it's played. And so today we're going to be learning about something called the quarter rest. So we've learned about quarter notes before, and if you missed that one, you might jump back over to last week and check out that 5 and 10. But today you're going to be learning about quarter rests, and when you do it, you're going to get to play a little of pots and pans percussion and sing a new song. So have a good time.
How does that work?
Went the little green frog one day. Went the little green frog. Went the little green frog one day, and they all went But we know frogs go la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. We know frogs go la-di-da-di-da. They don't go In this song, we're learning about something very important. It's called the quarter rest. What is a rest? Well, a rest is a symbol we use in music that tells us when there's silence. It could be every instrument playing in a band needs to be silent, or it could mean just one instrument or the singing voice needs to be silent. In this song, we have a quarter rest when we're clapping. La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. That clap is a quarter rest, and we put the clap there to help you learn how to leave space. But it could also go like this. But we know frogs go la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. Did you hear how I was silent? That is a rest. So now we are going to give another instrument the opportunity to play during that rest. So that moment when we would clap before, instead we can use a drum. Went the little green frog one day. Went the little green frog. Went the little green frog one day, and they all went But we know frogs go la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. We know frogs go la-di-da-di-da. They don't go Now we'll try it on my plastic drum. For me, I personally prefer the plastic drum because the metal drum is a little too strong of a sound for my ears. It's all what you like best, but if it feels like it hurts your ears a little bit when you hear a metal drum, then use a plastic drum instead. Here we go. Went the little green frog one day. Went the little green frog. Went the little green frog one day, and they all went But we know frogs go la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. We know frogs go la-di-da-di-da. They don't go So whenever you're playing the drum in that song, the moment when we would go, right, the rest of the clap, la-di-da-di-da, that is a moment of rest. You could also think of it like this. But we know frogs go shh, la-di-da-di-da, shh, la-di-da-di-da, shh, la-di-da-di-da. The voice in that moment is resting. We know frogs go la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. quiet time is when the instrument plays. Let's try the whole thing one more time. And remember that what you learned about today is called the quarter rest. The quarter rest gets one count, one beat of quiet. I went the little green frog one day. I went the little green frog. I went the little green frog one day, and they all went ah. But we know frogs go la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. We know frogs go la-di-da-di-da. They don't go ah. So practice that this week at home. Next week we will make a new instrument and we will start putting together your own percussion ensemble so that you can sing this song and perform it on multiple instruments at the same time. Have fun!
Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you liked the video. If you had a good time, come see us again. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Or just click the subscribe link below and YouTube will let you know anytime we release a new video. See you again soon. Bye.